Hello, beautiful souls. Let's have a conversation because there's a part of healing that nobody really talks about. And it's this: healing doesn't always feel like growth. Sometimes it feels like everything is falling apart. You start doing all the right things, you set boundaries, you say no, you choose yourself. And somehow, instead of feeling better, you feel disconnected, uncomfortable, even a little lost, like something familiar is missing, but you can't tell if that's a good thing or something you need to fix, because healing is a detox, and detox doesn't feel good. You're releasing habits, patterns, people, and ways of being that once felt normal, even if they weren't healthy. The body doesn't always recognize the difference between what's familiar and what's actually good for you. You might feel anxious without a clear reason, restless, even in peace, pulled toward things you've already outgrown, just because they once felt like home. And here's the part most people don't understand: your nervous system doesn't care about your growth, it cares about what's familiar. So when you start changing, it can feel like something is wrong, even when everything is finally right. And that internal tension doesn't just stay internal, it changes what fits. You start to notice you don't respond the same way anymore. You don't tolerate the same things. You don't even want the same conversations. And that creates distance, sometimes from others, and sometimes from versions of yourself you thought you'd always be. And in that space, you start to question everything. Is this working? Or why do I feel worse? Wasn't this supposed to feel better? Because we've been taught that growth feels good. But real growth feels unfamiliar. And unfamiliar can feel a lot like wrong if you don't understand what's actually happening. And what's happening is you're not who you were, but you're not fully who you're becoming yet. And that in between space, it's quiet, it's uncertain, and if you're not careful, you'll try to go back just to feel something familiar again. But here's the truth: you're not going backwards, you're not broken, you're adjusting to a version of yourself that no longer needs what once felt necessary, even if it feels like you've lost your footing or like something isn't clicking the way you expected. Or if there's a part of you that wonders if you were better off before, just because it felt easier to hold. If this conversation is helping you reframe what you've been experiencing, I'm glad you're here. This is the inner shift work, where we look beneath behavior and into the narrative shaping it. And if you'd like to continue these reflections, you can subscribe and join me here. So if healing feels uncomfortable right now, if it feels like you're losing more than you're gaining, pause before you question it, because you might not be falling apart. You might just finally be walking out of the hell you used to call home. And that part is the shift.